Alright guys, so today I want to talk about a relatively deep topic, which is friendships and their importance on the path to becoming a great man. Now, I want you all to know, I'll say this again, I'm not a perfect man. I have my flaws for certain, but I do know that the male buddies I have are constantly trying to push me to become a better man. And if your guy friends aren't doing that, they're not trying to make you a better man, well then they're not great friends, okay? And you need to choose more carefully, all right? Now, the reason I say you can't be friends with everyone is because there are people out there who are not good people. And you would have to sacrifice a certain part of yourself that is intrinsic to becoming intrinsic to a good man in order to try and bring them up. And sometimes it just farther brings you down. Best way to put this is this. If you had someone, you saw on the street, or you met at a bar, who's a hardcore drug addict, you wouldn't try and bring that person into your home. And is that uncharitable? No, because you know that the sacrifice that would come along with that is so great that it could potentially pull you down into the depths of despair, basically, okay? And it's not going to better you at all in a man. It's a bad decision to make, right? Because at a certain point, you can help people. And then there's another point where you can't. And it's hard to recognize for a lot of guys. Like, you want to help everybody. You want to be kind to everyone. But not everyone has your best interests at heart. And if a friend does not have your best interest at heart, he's not really a friend, okay? He's kind of an enemy, all right? You don't want to try and associate yourself constantly with someone who is going to try and lead you down the wrong path. I think most guys know the right things to do. I really do. Not everyone, but I think most men do. And they know that there are certain people who will bring them down, who will not elevate them to a higher standard of living, to a higher standard of manliness, okay? And they're going to bring them down, and basically they're going to make you more unhappy with yourself, which is terrible. And you don't want that in a friend. A good friend is going to be there for you whenever you need them, even if it means they have to push certain things aside, that they've been needing to get done just so they can get to you, okay? Another thing about a good friend is going to not spare your feelings, okay? A good friend is going to, when he sees you're messing up, you're screwing up in your life, he's going to call you out. He's going to say, hey, you're making some mistakes here, man. I love you and everything, but really you're making some really bad decisions here, and I think you need to turn it around. And maybe it hurts your feelings. And maybe even in a moment you get a little bit angry at your friend and you say, like, who are you to tell me this? It's like, well, they're your friend, okay? And they're trying to help you. And I think, if your guy buddies are trying to make you a better man, then they are by definition a good friend, okay? And if they're not, they're by definition a bad friend. They don't have your best interest at heart. They're not trying to bring you up to the fullness of your nature, okay? They're trying to drag you down. That's not a good thing. Now, let's talk about some of the benefits of friendships that, we don't normally talk about in today's society. I've got friends who have certain skills that I don't have whatsoever that will help me in a heartbeat. And that's an incredible thing to say, okay? And I've got skills I can trade off and help them with. If they call me up and they're like, hey, listen, this Saturday, I need your help, building something. I could be there. I could help them, and I will. Unless there's some emergency happening on Saturday, I will try and push anything out of my schedule so I can go help that friend, okay? And that's the thing about being a good friend, is you make sacrifices for your buddies. And it's important. It's so important as a man to have good male influences in your life, good male friends, okay? Because it's not the same when you're a friend with a woman. It's just not, okay? There's a different kind of camaraderie there, but there are certain struggles, certain doubts and fears that men experience differently than women, and it's good to have quality men in your life who will guide you in the right direction. And I've been blessed with a lot of those, from my father to my brother to all my friends, who have been able to help me with that. And like I said, I'm not perfect, but I know if they saw me doing something that they knew was going to wreck my life, they'd say, hey, you need to turn around, you're messing up. And that's an incredible thing. But you get to make that decision for yourself too. I mean, I've chosen my friends, I think, relatively well. And it's important that you only go for the best, okay? You want to be friends with someone who is not going to try and degrade you or bring you down, but is rather going to, recognize their imperfections, but also try and perfect you along the way, and so that's the importance of having good male friends. You've got a journey, okay, from where you are to becoming a great man. Well, they're on the same journey, okay, and you can help them, and they can help you. It's actually an incredible thing. But yeah, so like once again, like even from a monetary standpoint, it's like I got guys who can help me fix my car, and I know some stuff about cars, but I don't know everything. And if I have issues with my car, I can even just call them up and say, hey, listen, it's making this noise, or this is the problem I'm having with it, and they can diagnose it, and that will save me a lot of money, because if I take it to the mechanic or something, I'll be like, hey, listen, this is the exact problem I'm having with my car. I need this fixed, instead of them having to figure that out, charge them more money. Okay, so there's a financial benefit to having a lot of good friends. Okay, but once again, there are going to be people who try to become your friend who are not worthy of your friendship. And it's not being arrogant to say that, okay? It's being decisive. It's making good decisions for your future, which is important. Don't just willy-nilly go picking out, oh, this guy seems like a decent guy, he's funny. It's like there are a lot of funny people out there who aren't good people, Like, that's just a fact of nature, Not everyone who has certain qualities is going to make a good friend in the long run. And so anyways, I'll digress, but make sure you choose your friends wisely. You can't be friends with everyone. That doesn't mean you need to be mean to everyone. It doesn't mean you need to be irritable or angry towards people. It just means you need to send the right signal and say, listen, I either want to be your friend or I don't, because I don't think you're going to help me down the road on my journey to becoming a good man. So anyways, thank you for watching Man in the Making. I appreciate it. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day and be a good man.